You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless.
The host of Black Newsbeat, Dr. Kimeka Campbell.
Welcome to the Women's History Month episode of the Black Newsbeat. Yeah. I am so excited to be here with all of you. It has been a whole month since I've seen you last. So I was supposed to come and hang out with you guys for Carnival. But what happened was I was having too much fun, okay? I was in Trinidad and Tobago with my wonderful, delightful husband, who we have big news about tonight. Let's prep that. Let's preview that. And we were having such a good time. But before we get to all that, I want to invite you to we're almost halfway through Women's History Month. And so I want to invite you guys to, really celebrate. We have a lot of great things happening this month. But welcome to Black Newsbeat, y'all. It's Women's History Month, aka the time to celebrate the brilliance, resilience, and straight up power of the women who shaped history and are still making moves out here. And let's be real, that includes a whole lot of Black women and whose impact runs deep. From leading movements to running businesses, breaking records, to breaking barriers, we've been doing the work. And this month, we're making sure the flowers and credits are delivered, period. Tonight, we're uplifting voices, the stories and legacies of women who inspire us. We'll laugh, we'll learn, and we might even get a little emotional. But all in the name of giving honor to where honor is due. So let's get ready to celebrate, because it's Women's History Month. Yeah. So first up for Women's History Month, yours truly was at Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago on the island of Trinidad, the main island, the big island. And y'all, it was magical this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was magical. It was one of those times where you get out of the cold, because it was cold. Yes. It was real cold. And you also step into this kind of way where everyone's there ready to greet you. You're with a family of people who come from all over the world to celebrate this wonderful time. So Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is a pre-Lenten celebration, just like all over the other parts of the world. You guys know what Mardi Gras is, right? You know what Carnival in Brazil is. So this is similar. So Trinidad and Tobago hosts the biggest carnival in the Caribbean. Did y'all know that? Oh, nobody ever knows that when I say it, and I feel like I say it every year, but it's okay. Y'all are new. Shout out to our guest here. First time? Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So Trinidad Carnival is the biggest carnival in the Caribbean, and it's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. People come from over millions of people descend on the island, literally hundreds of thousands of people descend on this island to play mass, to spectate, to go to the fetes. Earlier, what was the question, Jan? What'd you say? She said, what is a fete? What is a fete? And fete is a French word for party. And so the one thing I like to do is party when I go to Trinidad. You know why? Why, babe? Why do I like to go to fetes in Trinidad? I'll wait for him to answer. He knows the answer. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Free to be me. And what are they in Trinidad? They are not in these United States. All inclusive. He knows me. Listen, there's food, y'all. There are drinks. It's a concert, all you can eat buffet and all included drinks all in one. And you're there with your closest friends. It is the best party on the planet. And that's not exaggeration. So I want to show you a couple pictures of me at Carnival. Please turn your attention to the screen. You're not, because Sis was real fly. And so was Buster. Buster was out there too. They didn't take as many pictures of him as they did of me. But, that's what happens. So that's us at Mirror Monday. So a little bit of education for Carnival. When you go to Carnival, you play in a band. And a band is a bunch of people that get together and they are separated into sections and they have different costumes. But for the first day, and you play over 2 days, you play mass over 2 days. in a section in a band. That's as much as you need to know about that. All right. And when you are in a band, the first day that you do it is Mirror Monday. Go back one. And Mirror Monday was it's like the dress down day, right? And then the second day is Pretty Mass. And that is what you see there. Listen. Ooh. Ooh. That pink was my favorite. This is the prettiest outfit I've ever had. Like, it's the most beautiful costume I've ever had. And it had
It required some architecture.
yes, it did.
Yeah.
I had a parasol, and the wings, they call them a backpack. And that backpack, babe, how much would you say that backpack weighed? Yeah, like 25 pounds. And I carried it for how long? Probably 10 hours. No, okay. So the woman who created this look, her name is Solange Govia, and she is a resident and native of Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out to Solange. She actually she actually co-tagged this picture of me with her on Instagram. And she conceptualizes this, and they get a team to build this out. So one of the beautiful parts of Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is an art called wire bending. Have you all ever heard of that? So wire bending is how you create that backpack. So this is my favorite picture. It is my favorite. He caught me in the action, crossing the stage. The big highlight of the moment is crossing the Savannah stage in Trinidad and Tobago with your costumes. And our band had, what, 8 or 9, maybe 10 sections, right, babe? I think. And what they do basically is everyone has a different theme in each section, and then they come together. So our band, shout out to the Lost Tribe. Shout out to Section Rhythm. That was the name of our section. And our theme this year was Lost in Time. And it was such a beautiful kind of presentation. They talked about brother and sister Savannah, Carnival, and Time, and why Carnival kept on trying to save humanity, which I thought was so beautiful. And talked about, and Time was like, get rid of them. They're all about war, and they are hurting each other, and they are, being so mean to each other. Why would you keep trying to save and celebrate with them? And Sister Carnival comes back and she says, Sister Savannah, she says, I have to believe in them, because even though some of them are making bad decisions, a lot of them are making good decisions. And this celebration is for them, for the humans that are making good decisions and are participating in humanity in the right way. And I was like, I'm one of those humans. And I felt free to celebrate and to do what I had to do. So thank you for enjoying those pictures.
I got a question.
Yes, absolutely.
So give us a scale, like when all the bands together in these groups, like how many people are we talking about? Not that are watching, but that are in the.
Oh, there's a big close up. Oh, I love that picture so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Lost in Time. That's right. And it was so beautiful, you guys. So how many people you would say again?
Like in the.
So just in our band alone, we had over a couple thousand people. And there are probably 40, 50, 60.
And then there's spectators on top.
And then there's spectators on top of that.
That sounds like a party.
And then there are some bands that, it's a party. Okay. Now let me paint a picture for you. Picture it, you're on the road. It is Carnival Tuesday 2025. And you are with these big 18-wheeler trucks, right? And there are several trucks going alongside the masqueraders. So the trucks are on the left side, masqueraders on the right side for the most of the time. Sometimes you got to change sides or you're turning and stuff. But there are drinks trucks, there are snacks trucks, there's a backpack truck, there's a music truck, there's bathroom trucks. You go to the bathroom. There's all these trucks, and what you call in Trinidad, you chip down the road for a marathon. The entire day. You start at about 7 a.m. and you end at 7 p.m. Yeah, and you have a party, and people are drinking all day. And how do you drink all day in the heat? It's 85 degrees. I don't know, but we did it. We did it. Trinity rum, my drink of choice, and a lot of people's drink of choice, not just mine, is any kind of Trinity rum. Our rum this year was Tamboo and coconut water, because coconut water has all the good electrolytes and vitamins. And that rum is pure, and it is great, and there's no hangover. I don't think I had a hangover one time. Now, if I was in the States, this would give me a hangover. So it was a beautiful time. We also went to a bunch of fêtes, the fête, the French word for a party, and all inclusive, all you can eat. Everything during carnival time is all you can eat, all you can drink, all you can enjoy. And it's very beautiful. We spent about 12 days there. Basir was brave this year. He worked while we were in Trinidad. And also enjoyed himself. So, and we didn't even show you pictures from Juve. Juve is the daybreak celebration they have. And Juve is one of the, Carnival is too, but Juve is one of the celebrations that is linked closely to emancipation in Trinidad. And so Juve, which comes out of the Campbell tradition, which was a resist or riot against the and the rich of the country who were oppressing. They would paint their faces with mud so they couldn't be recognized, and they would protest. And they would protest with music and instruments. And they would do that till daybreak, and then they would go to the ocean and wash that all off and go home so they wouldn't be recognized. And so we reenact that every year, right before Sunday night into Monday morning, Carnival Monday morning. And that daybreak represents cleansing and rebirth. And then you go into Carnival Monday, you party, you Carnival Tuesday party, and then you give up something for Lent. What I didn't want to give up Carnival though, but it was such a beautiful celebration, and I'm glad I got to do it this year, especially because I didn't want to go after. So this trip was supposed to be a present to myself after the election, and you know it's kind of sad. And it was very hard, and it's been hard ever since, personally for me. And so I didn't want to go. And something was like, you got to go. First of all, as they say in Trinidad, my money done spend. So you have to go. You can't just be like, you can't go. We spent, it's not a cheap trip. The costumes are expensive. The boarding is expensive. It's expensive. But it's worth every penny. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is one part of being a first generation American that I am super proud of. So, yeah. Thank you for indulging me. Yeah. So we are going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back to sweep these streets and see what's going on. We have a lot to talk about in this country, y'all. So let's get to it, okay? Let's sweep these streets, see what's going on. If anybody besides me here got a doctorate, yeah, or a second master's or another, whatever. Listen, friends, there are changes to your student loan forgiveness that you need to know about and your student loan repayment options. So if you are paying back student loans under an income-driven repayment plan, you might have noticed some big changes, and not in a good way, okay? Not in a good way. Am I frozen? I get to drink, take a drink. Oh. Refresh your browser, like just do a fresh on the browser. I've done that before. Okay, so if you are paying back student loans under an income-driven repayment program, you might have noticed some big changes, and not in a good way. The federal government has hit pause on student loan forgiveness and new application for these plans. Did y'all know that? Why? A federal court ruling has blocked the Department of Education from operating key repayment programs, including the Biden administration's SAVE program. And that's the big one, the SAVE plan. That SAVE plan was new under the Biden administration that allowed folks to access different ways of repaying their loans while not breaking the bank and breaking their pockets. So this means that borrowers in certain repayment programs won't be able to move forward, I'm so sorry, with loan forgiveness, even if they've been paying off their loans for 20 to 25 years. That sucks. Some borrowers are now stuck in limbo, unable to switch plans, because you cannot switch plans now that program is now on hold, and you cannot consolidate their loans online either. So many years ago, when I first was doing consolidation, when I was going to grad school, I consolidated my loans as I was entering grad school so that all of my loans would be under one big consolidation program. You can't do that now. And that was to lower your interest rates, make sure that you were able to access all of the government amenities that came with those loans, and also repay the loan. Because folks who are going to grad school, they're not trying to build the system. They actually are trying to serve their communities and get an education and become these thriving members of society that we were promised that we were supposed to be, that we could be. So you can't even access any options right now to make sure that you can do that. So that kind of sucks. But the good news is, if you're in the public service loan forgiveness portion of that, or in an income-based repayment plan, you're still in the clear, at least for now. At least for now. And what does that mean? That means that if you are in the IBR, that's just the short term for it, you still can you can still apply at least for public service loan forgiveness. We don't know if it's going to be approved, but you can still apply. But with little public communication from the government, many borrowers are confused about what's next. So you have to keep your eyes on that. So what can you do? Experts suggest keeping detailed records of your payments and communicating with your loan servicers. If you're with Mohila, if you're with these other servicers, make sure you're communicating. And if this ruling affects you, now's the time to contact your elected officials to make your voice heard. Listen, people really underestimate the importance of remaining civically engaged, and you have to do that in this time. A lot of people have become like, well, this is what it is. No, you still have a voice, and you still have a choice in what's happening. You have to make your voice heard, because this government, whether or not they pretend it or not, was still elected by our co-citizens and co-residents of this country. And you need to make sure that you speak up about what's happening. So if you are impacted by this sudden freeze? If you are, drop a comment. Let's see who has been affected. I've been affected, and I know other borrowers have been affected. We want to hear your story, and we want to highlight that story. All right, this is another one. We're going to local politics because this one's hot. Who lives in the city of Harrisburg? Yeah. Even if you don't live in the city of Harrisburg, this is going to affect you too, because this is the capital city, okay? So Harrisburg, it's election season. Yes, and the field is stacked, packed and stacked, honey. The deadline has passed for candidates to file their petitions, and we have got a crowded field for mayor and city council and more. Let's start at the top. Mayor Wanda Williams is seeking a second term, but she's facing some serious competition. She'll be up against City Treasurer Dan Miller. There we go. Oh, there I am. I'm back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So Mayor Wanda Williams is seeking a second term, but she's facing some serious competition. Dun, dun, dun. She'll be up against City Treasurer Dan Miller, Council Member Lamont Jones, activist Tone Cook Jr., and former candidate Louis Butts Jr. It's a full house. And with no Republicans in the race, the May 20 Democratic primary is the main event. You know what that means? Once the primary is decided, that person is more than likely, almost 99% likely to become the mayor in that race. So they're still going to vote on November 5th. They're still going to vote. But what that means is They're more than likely to become the mayor once that primary is decided. Meanwhile, Harrisburg City Council's race is just as packed. 3 incumbents, Alsha Green, Jocelyn Rawls, and Ralph Rodriguez, who is actually going around playing city dumping cop right now. If you didn't see his live, he's out there making sure that there is no illegal dumping in the city. They're running for re-election. But with Shemaine Daniels stepping down, one seat is wide open. This is where it gets tricky. Honey, there are 11 challengers for those 4 seats. So you got 3 incumbents and 1. So these challengers have filed to run, including Leslie Franklin, Lisa Glenn, Sharon Horn, Elise Irvis, Robert Lawson, Willie Ross, Rich Sanders, Lori Salisbury, Carl Singleton, and none other than Basir Vincent. Yeah, so babe, you're running for office. So you're gonna come on the show and talk to us about your platform? Yes, and all candidates are invited on the show to talk about the platform. I would love to just limit it to Basir because he's husband. He's cute too, but I can't do that. All of you have to come on the show who are wanted. We want you to come on the show. We want to talk about your platforms here on the show. Again, no Republicans have filed for this seat either, so the primary will decide it all. This is a heavy primary city. That means city council and the mayor decided in the primary. That's very important for you to know. This affects voter turnout too, because a lot of people will skip the primary and then be really upset that they only have this limited choice in the general. So you gotta get involved in the primary. Promise me you will. All of you. Thank you. And that's just city politics. Dauphin County has some key races too, including county coroner, clerk of courts, and the school board seats, and also the prothonotaries up. All of our seats it's a lot. And when people tell me that they do not vote during their off-year elections outside of the general, I get really sad because local elections matter most. Most.
Remember like
yes.
2 years ago when we did the live election results?
Yes.
And we had
Ona.
Ona.
Yes. And Rachel. Was it Rachel? Ona and Rachel?
It might have been Rachel Peacock.
Hadrick. Yep.
Or Hadrick.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all kind of went through and broke down
every race.
Yeah, what they were. I would suggest.
Can we do that again?
Do it before the election.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because to explain what these.
Let's do it. Do y'all want to do that? Do y'all want to see that? Y'all think that would be good?
Yeah.
Breaking it down before the election? All right, we'll do that again because that's my favorite thing to do anyway. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. We got to get back to that.
Yeah.
And so bottom line, this election will shape Harrisburg's future. And with so many candidates, your vote really matters, guys. It's not a game. Your vote really matters, okay? Mark your calendars for May 20. May 20. What date is it?
May 20th.
Mark your calendars for May 20. That is our PA primary. Get informed. And most importantly, show up to the polls. And as the great psalmist Beyonce would say, get information. Okay? You got to get to the polls. Now, we want to hear from you. What issues are most important to you this election? Hit us up in the comments and let's talk about it. We have had several different folks talk about education, talk about healthcare, talk about our city police, talk about safety, infrastructure, talk about our roads. Roads is a big one. Biking. What else have you heard, Basir? Housing is a big one. Economic development. Did you see the Harrisburgers with Cameras group just outlined like 6 businesses that closed downtown, including Home 231, I know, including Tacos Amigos, which is so delicious, so my favorite. They moved to the West Shore.
Yeah.
We can't be losing businesses like this at this frequency to the West Shore. We got to do better. So we've really got to elect officials who understand the landscape and how they can make sure that we have a thriving downtown, a thriving city. And my very good friend, Anna White, made a post today that said, listen, if downtown is feeling not served, if Midtown is feeling not served, and Allison Hill has been saying this the whole time, and Uptown has been saying this the whole time, then it is not a localized problem. We have a problem throughout the city with the entire city feeling unsupported, including our businesses downtown, including Allison Hill, including Uptown, including south of Harrisburg, feeling underserved in our city. So we have to elect officials who are going to make a difference for our residents and our visitors and workers who come to the city every single day. Yeah, we got to do that. So pay attention and get ready to vote on what date? May 20th. Thank you very much. That was very good. Very good. Now, what other municipalities are you guys from? Where are you guys living? Camp Hill, good. There's some big stuff going on in Camp Hill too this election. So, yeah, school board in Camp Hill is a big deal. Please, yes, that's right. Yeah, you got to stamp down the Moms for Liberty. And when I say stamp down, now this show's nonpartisan, and so are the people that support it. However, our kids matter, and when you have institutions and groups that are trying to disproportionately affect our children, you got to pay attention to that. So pay attention to which groups are supporting which candidates and why are they there supporting those candidates, and make sure that you show up in force. One of the things I was proud of Cumberland Valley School District for and the parents is they absolutely came out in force when their LGBT students were being affected. So I'm very proud of that. There are several. Did you know that Pennsylvania has 501 school districts? Yeah, and those are all legal governments. That is one of our branches of government in the state of Pennsylvania. So you've got your state government, you've got your county government, you got your municipal government, which could be a town, a township, a borough, a city, and there's one more I always forget: town, township, borough, city, and something else. Town, township, borough, city. I don't remember, but there's one more, a smaller one, and all of those are types of government, including. Right, and then you have your state, your elected Senate and House, and then you have your federal House and Senate, and you also have your school district, right? And judge, thank you, and your judgeships. That's a separate branch of government, right? So you have judgeships that are Court of Common Pleas is up. We had our MDJ seats last election. We have our Supreme Court seats. We have Superior Court seats. We have our, I don't think Eastern Federal Circuit Court is up right now, but we have a myriad and a complex system of judge seats that are going to be coming up right alongside your representatives. I know that's a lot to digest, you guys, but it's important you pay attention. Go to Ballotpedia, go to the different sites. We have Democracy First, we have Turn PA Blue. All these organizations are doing the work. Maybe not Turn PA Blue because they're partisan, but still, go to these organizations that are doing the work of keeping you informed of who's running for what, and learn. And it's just a little bit every day. Just a little bit every day. You don't have to do it all at once. Just a little bit every day to make sure that you are informed about what's happening, because this affects you right now. Right now. You have representatives that are voting on what monies come down right now. Governor Josh Shapiro had to sue the federal government to release $2 billion of money, and he won. Yeah. And guess what? And as the AG, he was the most suingest AG. He sued the Trump administration the most, and he won. And why is that important to Pennsylvanians? Because it frees up money to help us keep living the quality of life that we have in Pennsylvania, to support our seniors, to support different things. But there's so much more things coming down the pike, y'all. We'll talk about that. And that leads me right into where's Kamala Harris? All right, family, let's talk about it. Where's Kamala Harris? Every time a major political moment happens, folks start asking, why isn't she leading? Why isn't she more visible? We voted for it, and where is she? And let me be the first to say, maybe she doesn't need to be out front, right? Look, Vice President Harris has done enough. She made history as the first Black woman, first South Asian woman, and the first HBCU grad to hold office. Shout out to Howard University, right? She's taken on some of the toughest issues: voting rights, immigration, reproductive justice. And let's be real, she's faced more scrutiny, more disrespect, and more dismissal than just about any VP in recent memory. Is that a lie? It ain't. Yet, every time something goes down, people want her to be the face of the fight. But here's where it gets interesting. Rumors are swirling about what's next for her. Did y'all hear about rumors? Some say she's considering a run for California governor in 2026 if Gavin Newsom sets his sight on the White House. Others think she's eyeing the presidency in 2028, especially after her 2024 bid didn't pan out. So the real question isn't where is Kamala Harris? It's what's next for Kamala Harris. And should she set up a run for president? How y'all feel about that? She should set up a run for president.
If we're having elections, let's do it.
If we're having elections. Well, we won't get into that on tonight's show. But if we're having elections, why not? And this is something that I want to bring to the local level too, because one of the things that happens for Black and brown women across Pennsylvania, across the Northeast, across the country, even in the most liberal spots, they'll run once and they'll lose, and people go, see, Black women can't get elected, women can't get elected, such and such and such. Meanwhile, their white, male, et cetera, counterparts run 3 or 4 times before they're elected. How many times did Joe Biden run? Please. And that's the closest example that we have for her. So I think she should do whatever she pleases to do. But if she chooses to run for president, I don't think that's a bad idea. A lot of people say, oh, she shouldn't run because she's already run, she lost. But where's the equity in that? If she can only run one time and others are running 3 and 4 times, where's the equity in that, right? So the real question is where is she, but what's next for her, right? Should she step up and run for president? I think she should. Or is it time for someone else to take the baton? I think if she wants to run, that is her prerogative. That's what I think. So, but that's what I think. Hearing from you. Would you support a Kamala Harris 2028 campaign? Or has she already done enough? Okay, drop your thoughts in the comments online. Be nice to see a real primary for her. Absolutely, especially since she's built up what she's built up so far. I think it would be absolutely nice to see an actual primary. I know we have a lot of opinions on whether or not Joe Biden should have did what he did. I think personally, I would like to see an actual primary for her and not one 107 days out. One where she actually had time to build a following and build herself up. So yeah, okay. So let's get into it. We have a couple other things to talk about. Let's get into Media and Melanin, which is my favorite segment of the show. And we got some things to talk about. So first of all, let's just shout out to my very favorite musician right now and has been for a long time, Doechii. Shout out to Doechii. Alligator bites into everything. And she really has done a good job of like positioning herself as a relatable artist, right? It is hard for dark-skinned Black women to do this. And I want you guys to recognize that. We got all kinds of different folks in the audience tonight. A dark-skinned woman winning a Grammy, doing this work with, and it's not even an album, it's a mixtape, which is a very different beast than an album. And it's produced differently, and she has different freedoms than she would have with an album. Her winning a Grammy for a mixtape is crazy. And then she went to Paris Fashion Week and killed it. Slayed. Every time she has a performance, she's slaying it. And I just want to say, haha, Ice Spice, you called her the dark-skinned chosen one, and girl, where are you? You was at Fashion Week looking crazy, and that's on you. Okay. All right. But I really am inspired by her, and I posted this on the Black Newsbeat page. You can look at it. In 2020, she did another mixtape / album, and Oh, the Places Will Go, and on that album is a track called God. And she pontificates about her own understanding of God. And she said that God, to her, is the unlimited source, right? And she talks about how if God is an unlimited source of creativity and wealth and houses and land and things, then if that exists, which she believes it does, then she has unlimited creativity and she has unlimited songwriting power and she has unlimited gifting. And then she also said, and this is what helped me, and so do you, right? She's not the only one that has it. We all have it. If that higher power exists, whether we say it's God or whatever we say it is, there is something that has unlimited, that we have unlimited access to that resides in us. And that helped me so much because there was a time when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in the community, what I was going to do with the show, was I still going to do it, what was the frequency, are people going to forget me, right? All those questions you ask yourself when you're trying to do something creative and try to do something new. And she solidified it for me. And it was a core belief that was reinforced for me because I believe, and it comes from an old tradition, religious tradition, but I believe that I'm supposed to have life and have more abundantly. I believe that the desires of my heart can be met. And where does that come from? It comes from this idea that there's unlimited power. There's a limited creative resource. There's unlimited resources that you can tap into. And that's specifically very difficult for everyone to believe. People think creativity is pie, power is pie, the spotlight is a pie, and if you get a piece, I can't get a piece. And she broke that mold for me. She said, no, we have unlimited access to those things and we can be creative in our own right. Yes. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for her. Abundance. So you can have creativity and have it more abundantly. You can have the desires of your heart and have it more abundantly. You can have the things you want and have it more abundantly. And you can be creative and you can be unique in that. And so, yeah, I love her for that. If you haven't checked out her album, check that out. Her mixtape, check it out. And all her performances and her outfit. Listen, the outfit with the jean and the white, I need one. And I'm not going to look as good in it, but I need it. So let's talk about another thing. Let's talk about Hollywood Woes Black Women Edition. So y'all, what is going on with all these messy breakups in Hollywood? Did y'all see this? I was talking about this on the page. Black women messy breakups are running crazy out in the Hollywood streets. So let's talk about Journey Smollett. Do you hear about Journey? One of the most accomplished actresses. Her ex-husband just hit her with a legal request for half of her retirement savings. Even though he already walked away with a nearly $1 million settlement and gets $7,000 a month in support. Now he wants half of her SAG pension from when they were married, and it's got folks debating whether he's just looking for a payday or if this is just how the law works. But Journey's not alone. Lately, it feels like Black women in Hollywood cannot catch a break when it comes to love, money, and co-parenting. Let's talk about it. Halle Bailey, dealing with a custody battle with DDG, who's mad that he can't see their son whenever he wants. He's venting on social media. He's dropping songs about it. He's threatening legal action. Then he said he's not going to do legal action. Meanwhile, Halle's been quiet, but the situation is getting real public real fast. Cardi B filed for divorce. And now Offset is very upset, okay? Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson had a messy falling out, but they seem to have gotten it back to cordial terms for the sake of their child. But listen, those are the new money. The old money is Mary J. Blige, Wendy Williams, Tia Mowry, Halle Berry have all had to pay big in divorces while their exes walk away with fat checks. So what's really happening here? And are we seeing a shift in power where more high-earning Black women are forced to pay in breakups? Or is it just a reflection of how messy relationships can get, no matter how famous you are? And y'all have had plenty to say about this. Child, the page lit up. I don't know if I can talk about this too in depth tonight because it's already 8:09. But the page had a lot to say about this, about how we coddle certain folks and Black women had to pay a tax, not just in getting into the industry and also how they deal with their mates and the people that they couple with. So if you want to read more about that, please visit the page. People had a lot to say. I was very impressed with the depth and breadth of the conversation. Let me see if I can find one to read to you real fast. Scroll. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we had. Ooh. Look at the comments, honey. Every time I go back, I'm like, that was a lot to say. Let's see. Oh, that's the group. I can't even work my own page. Terrible. Oh, yes. Here we are. Oh, there's my live. Nice. Posts. So I asked the question, what was going, here was my question. My question was this. Drum roll, please. Give me a drum roll while I look at it. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Why do the Hollywood black girlies with money keep coupling with men who are not destined for greatness? I want to know. Careers are in the toilet. They're jealous of them. They don't have anything to bring to the table. What is the fascination? Why do these women keep coupling with them? And a lot of people said that we have been, as a society, not just black women, but we as a society, because they mentioned Sandra Bullock, because I brought up black women, but they mentioned Sandra Bullock and other white women. We've been conditioned to support men no matter what. Men are always redeemable in our society while women are not. And I thought that was a very interesting conversation. So keep the conversation going. Do you believe that? Do you think that men are more redeemable in our society than women? Because that was a big conversation on the page. Anybody believe that? Is that something that you see? Right? Men can get away with a million things, but if a woman does it, it's like, oh, banishment, right? To hell with thee. So yeah, some of the names that were named were, I think, it was Sandra Bullock. It was a couple other very prominent white women as well. So even though I brought up black women, people are like, oh, honey, it's not just black women, which I believe. I think black women get it worse, but it's not just black women, right? So I thought that was interesting. But we want to hear from you about that. Are women getting played, or is this just a cost of success? Let's talk about it. And I want to take it on a lighter note. I know that's kind of heavy. It's hard on my heart, but it was a big conversation this week on the page. So tonight for our second Media in Melanin, we're giving flowers to Queen Latifah and her hit CBS series, The Equalizer. Have you seen this show? First of all, I love Queen Latifah. She is a rap goddess, OG in the game, movie star extraordinaire, and now she has branched out into primetime television, which I thought was just been amazing for her. And it's a show, The Equalizer, on have y'all seen this on CBS, The Equalizer? If you have not, I wanted to get another season, so you need to go watch it now. Go stream it on CBS, Paramount. Yeah, Paramount or Prime, if you have Prime. Go watch a couple episodes, let people know you want it. So a show that's proven once again that black women are leading the way in action-packed television. First of all, she is a ex-CIA agent who branches on her own to do the goodwill of the people after experiencing something very tough in the CIA. And I thought that was just such a great setup because a lot of people join government-led agencies that are supposed to help do things and realize that there's so much corruption that they're not doing any good. And that's what happened with this story. So now, if you didn't know, The Equalizer is a reimagining of the classic 1980 series that starred Edward Woodward. The show also, was also adapted into the blockbuster movie starring the one and only Denzel Washington. But when CBS brought it back in 2021, they made history casting Queen Latifah as the first black woman to lead the franchise. Shout out to Women's History Month and Queen Latifah. Latifah plays Robin McCall, a former CIA operative who now works as a vigilante, using her skills to help those who have nowhere else to turn. She's smart, she's fearless, and she's serving justice every Sunday night. Fast forward to today, The Equalizer is still going strong. Season 5 has been delivering major action, and just this month, the latest episode Trust No One, aired on March 16th. But with no official renewal announcement yet, fans are waiting to see if we'll get a season 6. That's where you come in. Stream it, watch it, turn in on Sunday nights, because we want to make sure shows like that get as many renewals as possible. So let's talk about it. Has Queen Latifah redefined the action hero, or should we get another season of The Equalizer? Let us know if you've seen it. We've been talking about it on the page. I've brought it up a couple times. And there's pain points, right? Like there's a lot of discussion around, which I appreciate, around black people and policing, black cops and policing. And there's a lot of disillusionment. And I think it plays true to real life with the disillusionment that people who get into law enforcement who are black feel once they get there, and the choices that they have to make. So please watch. And let's give our show another season, okay? Yeah. Here is my favorite segment. It's called There's Nothing to Do in Harrisburg, also known as upcoming events. Aha! Because people say something to. Even with all the restaurant closures, there's still a lot going on. Since I've talked to you last, I told you about Men in the Kitchen at 602 North 2nd Street. Definitely check it out. I've been a couple times. I've had several. The corn, honey, if they have the deep fried corn, please get it. It is delicious. Honey, deep fried corn, I said. It is delicious. Deep fried Cajun corn, I forgot. Sorry, Justin, but what the name that it is to die for. Buster and I went on Sunday. Buster had some very good pasta. We had some salmon. It was a very good meal. So even though there's stuff closing in Harrisburg, we want to support what's there. And we also want to support what's there because coming out of a pandemic, I know people think that it's been years and years since the pandemic. It has not. Right? And it's affected our businesses severely. It has. And so we got to support what's there. We got to support what's there and make sure that we show up for those businesses. If you're coming from out of the city, if you're coming from a neighboring district, come and support our downtown nightlife, support our downtown weekend life and evening life.
Parking's free at night.
Parking's free at night after 5 p.m. Shout out to my favorite restaurant in Harrisburg, Miyako's Sushi. Buster and I just had food there. What's that, babe? Saturday? Yeah, Sunday. Absolutely amazing. And we want to support these businesses. And they made it through the pandemic. They were quick to innovate. They pivoted quickly to delivery and takeout, which they really hadn't done before the pandemic. They did a little bit of, and I want to celebrate them because they really have made an impact in how I think about a business that can innovate through very difficult times. So shout out to Miyako Sushi. I love you guys so much. Yeah. So Women's History Month, just like Black History Month, is full of so many great events. And there's one I want to shout out that's coming up. Charcuterie and Cocktails is coming up on March the 15th at Culture and Commerce Co-working at 19 and a half North 4th Street. Okay. This is being put on by the one and only Maisha Webb. She is businesswoman extraordinaire in the Harrisburg region, and it is about to be a good time. It is going to cost you $50, but you're going to get drinks. You're going to make your little charcuterie, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. this Saturday. Y'all need to get there because I'm going to be there, so you should come with me. Night Market is on 321 at Culture & Co. as well. Culture & Co. got all the cute little things happening. Okay, it's happening. The Night Market, there'll be vendors, and you can get some different things that are happening and support our local solopreneurs, hustlepreneurs who do this stuff on the night and weekends, support them and their stuff. We also have candidate forums coming up. Catch, concerned about the children of Harrisburg, they have 2 candidate forums coming up, one for our county and for our city candidates on 318 and 326. Check that out. They'll be around. They actually have 4, but those are the 2 in the month of March. And you can check out those candidate forums and learn more about our candidates. And YPOC Happy Hour is the last Thursday of the month at celebrating Women's History Month at Culture and Commerce Co-working. So we have a lot of great things coming up. Check out La Cultura's page for more. Check out YPOC page for more. We're also in full swing with planning Juneteenth. We have had a beautiful time planning Juneteenth. We have a full week for you from June the 14th to June the 21st. We are having our first Black parade, y'all. Woo! The first Juneteenth HBG parade in the city of Harrisburg, supported by the city of Harrisburg. Shout out to Mayor Wanda Williams for her support and for her planning in this. Shout out to Eric Smallwood for heading up and pioneering our first Juneteenth parade in the city of Harris, in the history of the city. Yeah. Oh, yes, we are starting in Market Street. We're going to go down and around the Capitol Complex, down 3rd Street, and we're going to end near the State Street. Our stage is going to go past the Capitol steps, and we're going to end at the other side of the Capitol Complex. Nice. So we're very excited about it. We want to honor the 8th Ward. Anybody know about the 8th Ward? Yes. The 8th Ward is very historic and very central, actually, to emancipation in this country because it houses a couple stops on the Underground Railroad. And it was raised to make what? The Capitol. Did y'all know that? So the 8th Ward, the old 8th Ward, literally sits under the Capitol, right? So there's a monument there that we want to pass. There's some other different things happening. Please stay tuned for that. If you want to sponsor, okay, because we always need sponsors. Please hit us up at Juneteenth HBG at ypoc-hbg.org. You can also hit us up at ypoc.org to see our sponsorship packages. You can also be a part of the parade. We'll have those tickets up very soon at the end of the week. If you would like to participate as a participant in the parade, it is $75, much lower than some of the other parades that we have in the city, because we want people to participate. We want to fill 80 slots, really make it a celebration. That parade is taking place on June the 14th at 12 p.m. Okay, 3 months to go, honey. That's all we got. So we're very proud. And then we have our Vibe Check tailgate for the Kendrick Lamar concert. We have our VIP reception. So the Vibe Check for the Kendrick Lamar concert, if you have your tickets, you can come hang out with us and iHeartRadio on June the 16th in the parking lot at Hershey, where the concert will be for Kendrick Lamar. And SZA will also be headlining with Kendrick. We will have our VIP reception on Tuesday, the 17th. We will have our 5th annual conference, which is crazy, our Juneteenth HBG conference at Harrisburg University. Shout out to Harrisburg University for being an amazing partner 3 years in a row. Yes. We will be having so what's this, Thursday, honey? We got so much going on, okay? On Thursday, we have our Juneteenth Jubilee. We will be most likely having it either at City Island or downtown. We're still making sure of all of the arrangements, but it will be on the 19th of June. We had over 1,500 people come out last year. The drone shots were crazy. It was beautiful. It was great. Friday, we're going to have our Taste of Black Harrisburg at Soma. Shout out to Sarah Bosich and our team at Harristown at Soma. Thank you so much for hosting us and being amazing. And Saturday is our 5th annual Juneteenth HBG concert, chaired by none other than Ayani Williams. And we have amazing surprises for you in store. We have 3 different rooms that we are going to be showcasing for the concert. So we're so excited about it. So we got a lot coming up, okay? And we want you to be involved. If you want to get involved, hit us up, ypoc.org. Send us a message if you want to get involved. Our volunteer forms are up. Our sponsor forms are up. Any way you want to get involved, we want to have y'all. So please come out and be involved. We're also in the middle of planning for Fringe, HBG Fringe. This is our 3rd year. That's right. Wow. Where does the time go? Shout out to Bree over here and the Gib over here, who are the co-producers and co-conveners of this amazing event. If you guys have not been to Fringe, do something weird this year and come to Fringe, okay? Yeah. You can also enter, or you can be a patron, and it is so fab, so fun. Visit the beer tent. Support local art, support local artists, from playwrights to textile arts to dancers to a burlesque show. We've had quite the arrangement of shows and offerings, so please support us in that as well. We got a lot coming up. FringeHBG.com. I always get that wrong. FringeHBG.com. HBGFringe.com. Sorry, let me do it again. Please support us at HBGFringe.com. Yes. All right. We're going to take a little break because I need to wet my whistle, and we're going to come back for last lap. All right? See you in a sec. I want you guys to remember how wonderful it feels to celebrate Juneteenth in Harrisburg. We always want to have this, and it's possible because of all of you. Yes. It's possible because of all of you. So thank you. Enjoy the night. Join my POC. All y'all enjoy my POC. Join us. We're going to do more amazing things like this for Harrisburg, for the region, and for the whole state. And we're back. So, all right, family, it's time for Last Lap, where we test your knowledge and, well, send a few folks to hell also, straight where they belong, because I be sending folks to hell sometimes. And today is the day for me. So first up, let's see how well you know your women's history. Who's ready? The prize is $10 via the personal payment app of your choice. 3 quick questions. Let's go. Number 1. Who was the first Black woman elected to Congress? Hey, Rich. Sorry. Come on in. We're playing the game. Come on, hurry up. Who was the first Black woman elected to Congress? It was Shirley. You can't play. Yanni, you're on staff. So Rich won. You're supposed to encourage them to. All right, let me look into the camera. Is anybody online playing, babe? Okay. Second question. Which legendary journalist and activist co-founded the NAACP and led anti-lynching campaigns? Oh, this one's hard. Got to dig deep for this one. I shall. Which legendary journalist and activist co-founded the NAACP and led anti-lynching campaigns? Got an answer? Take a guess. No. Also, you can't play. Take a guess. Take a guess. Do you give up? Y'all are losing. Yep. All right. 3, 2, 1. Ida B. Wells. Yes. Yep. Y'all got to brush up on your women's history, particularly your Black women's history, okay, which is next month, but I'm going to celebrate. I celebrate Black women's history from February to April because it's Black and then it's women's and then it's Black women. So I'm going to do it the whole time. Yeah. What year did women officially get the right to vote in the U.S. and which amendment made it happen? 19th Amendment. Yes? Okay, well, that's partial credit. It's partial credit. Question again. What year did women officially get the right to vote in the U.S. and what amendment made it happen? It was 19. What? Yanni, ask the audience, Yanni. Audience, speak up. Okay. This is a trick question, so. We got part of it. Yes. 1920. No, somebody already said 1920. Oh no, he said 19. 19 what? No, but you're close. Just regular 1920. Thank you. But this is a trick question because what kind of women got the right to vote in 1920? White. But what year did Black women get the right to vote?
68.
That's right, in the 60s. That's correct. In the 60s. In the 60s. I don't know, but I don't remember if it was before or after Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King was 68. So, okay. So that was a quick question. So now that we've honored so who won? No one. The answer is nobody. I'm keeping my $10. Thank you so much. No do-overs. Okay. Now that we've honored women who paved the way, it's time to clear the room of some folks who clearly don't belong. And tonight, the 10 Democrats who voted against Al Green. Yeah, y'all gotta go straight to hell.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, Al Green has consistently stood up for us, for democracy, and for holding folks accountable. But instead of standing with him, these 10 so-called Democrats sided with Republicans to try and silence him. Oh, absolutely not. Your tickets to hell have been processed, stamped, and are non-refundable.
Yep.
Y'all know what happened? Do you know what happened? So Al Green, Congressman Al Green got up and he said, this is bullshit. You lying. Right? You don't have that's what's my favorite. You don't have a mandate for what you're doing and how you're dismantling our government for all citizens, not just people who voted for Trump and not just people who voted for Kamala, but for everyone. And he got up and he spoke up. And he was let out by the sergeant at arms, honey. And he was treated like he was in the wrong. And to that I say, boo! Because
Taylor Greene
exactly. What happened to those, and this is the problem. What happened to those people, those other people, particularly white women, who exhibited the same behavior? Were they let out by the sergeant of arms? No. Exactly. So the shit's racist, obviously. Yep. Obviously. So we stand with Al Green. We stand with democracy. We stand for America. And y'all 10 Democrats, y'all can go to hell. You can. Along with the other folks who were voting against democracy too. All right. I'm so glad we did this tonight. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's been a tough 3 days. I started a new job this week, which I love. But you know, starting anything new is hard. And so I was encouraged. Shout out to the team at my new job. Shout out, and if you just Google me, you'll find out what it is. I'm not gonna tell you. But I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for a chance in a very tough political time to make a difference. And to make a difference for all Pennsylvanians in particular, not just people who voted the way I wanted, but for everyone. So you'll be seeing more of that work coming up because, baby, what's coming up in 2025 is the courts. And y'all got to pay attention to that. The courts are deciding a lot of things, and the courts in Pennsylvania are being targeted. So I want you to pay attention to that coming up because it's going to be a lot. So keep your eye on that for 2025. Keep your eye on that. And your state too, wherever your state is, your courts are going to be targeted because the courts are going to decide a lot of things for us as these drastic cuts are being made, as people losing their jobs left and right. Almost more than 100,000 federal workers have been put on notice that they do not have a job. And the federal government, in case you did not know, is the largest employer. That's it. That's the answer. So make sure that you are paying attention to what's coming up in the next few months. And not even few months, few weeks, few days, because every week is something crazy. And your courts are about to really decide what happens and decides the fate of your state, the fate of your region, and the fate of the country. So pay attention. Pay attention. That's right. That's right. And that's our show. Thank you for coming. You clap for me, but clap for yourselves. Big up yourselves. It's been an amazing night. And we got a lot more to talk about. We're going to have some candidates on the show. We're going to make sure that we keep the people informed about what's going on. And we're going to see you in 2 weeks.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
We do our like little meeting thing that not everybody comes to, right? Okay. Yeah. It's just me, you, and Basir, and